Yes, at last, Hasbro is losing the rights to produce Jurassic Park-based toys late next year. I was first alerted to this by Brad Jost of the Jurassic Park podcast early this morning, in which he pointed out a couple tweets by Scout Finance on Twitter. One of them said that Hasbro is down on disappointing 4% growth in boy toy sales, which had weakness in the Jurassic Park/World area. And then they followed it up immediately with a tweet that said Hasbro is eliminating its Jurassic Park/World toys in 2017. So I was like, this is very interesting. And shortly thereafter, news about this really started taking off in the Twitter sphere. Different outlets began reporting about it. This one here is from the Wall Street Journal. And it repeats that Hasbro reported a sharp slowdown in sales growth for its boys' toys and large inventory buildup in the second quarter, stoking concerns about the toy market as it nears the critical holiday season. Looking down a little bit further, it says the weakness was caused by a 20% drop in Transformers and another significant drop, there's not a number associated there, in Jurassic World toys, which the company says will continue to weigh on results this year. I think that means that they're going to kind of think about whether or not they want to continue doing product while they still have the license. Hasbro added that they will lose the Jurassic Park license at the end of 2017 because Hasbro couldn't agree on renewal terms with the franchise's owner, Universal Studios. And that's the real relevant information here, is that Hasbro is no longer going to be able to produce these toys after next year. Now, this is very interesting. In my opinion, I don't think that this was very much a matter of money as much as it may have been a matter of what Universal may have been demanding from Hasbro. For example, I think Universal might have been saying, we want to see an improvement in quality. We want to see this. We want to see that. And maybe Hasbro, wasn't wanting to, give anything definite to Universal. So ultimately they decided to pass on the license because, hey, they still have Star Wars, they still have Marvel. Ultimately, Jurassic Park is just a drop in the bucket compared to all the other lines that they produce. Now, I have heard that there is product in development that was scheduled for later this year. We still haven't seen quite a bit of the hybrid stuff that was shown back at New York Toy Fair back in February of this year. And supposedly they were also working on some other stuff for next year, which may or may not happen. It kind of sounds like that's probably not going to happen since they're being hit by a loss in sales for Jurassic Park. But why are they being hit with a drop in sales? Last year when the film came out, merchandise was very scarce. People wanted it. It was such a big selling line for Hasbro last summer. But they just couldn't keep up with demand. They had to go back and make more product. By the time that became available, like in November of last year, people had already moved on. Star Wars was coming out, and there were just other things vying for people's attention, which is understandable. So it sounds like Hasbro went back and made too much product, and people had moved on, and they were basically stuck holding the bag because, they couldn't move it. Walmart stopped carrying the line a few months back. Target dramatically downsized what they were carrying for the line as well. And Toys R Us seems to have about the same amount of selection, give or take, depending on the store you go to. It sounds to me like there's a lot of products stuck in the pipeline. And what that probably means is you're going to start seeing this stuff appear at places like Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, those sort of stores, and put at very low clearance prices. So that'll be cool. Unfortunately, a lot of us probably have most of these toys or have already bought them, and we're not really interested in buying more of them for obvious reasons. The quality has certainly been nowhere near where it was during the Kenner days. It hasn't even been where it was back when Hasbro did Jurassic Park 3 toys back in 2001, and it's nowhere near the awesome Dino Showdown sets they did in 2012. So I personally feel that Hasbro losing the license is a good thing. It's good to shake things up sometimes, and this is a very positive thing because Hasbro has been hoarding this license like no other, unwilling to bend or give anybody access to it. With Universal pulling the license back, they'll be able to splinter it up, which I think is the wise thing to do. They'll be able to give a company the rights to do like the main toy line. And in my opinion, I think that's either going to be Mattel or Jakks Pacific, just throwing it out there. And they'll also be able to incorporate other companies to come in, like maybe NECA, to do higher end collectibles, more detailed things like action figures, dinosaurs here and there. Of course, it would be a much more limited line, but you would get hopefully higher quality. And then probably something else like Funko having access to do things like the pop vinyls. So I really don't see a way that this is a negative thing. I have seen concerns where people are saying, well, maybe if another company gets it, we're not going to see play sets. We're not going to see vehicles. But you know what? We haven't seen that for the Jurassic World line, and really, I don't know that that was going to happen anyway for 2017 or for other movies in this series like Jurassic World 2 and so forth. So I really see this as a positive thing. If more people get their hands on the license and are able to do their own thing with it, that's only going to create more merchandise in the Jurassic World realm for long-timers like us to buy and for new people to buy. And I just see this as a really positive thing. So let me know down in the comments what you think about all this. I'm pretty stoked about it. And as more news trickles in, I will be sure to keep you updated. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter for the latest. As always, I want to thank you for tuning in to Victoria's Cantina. Till next time, my friends. Bye-bye.